Hey guys, so just out in the backyard here today, and just wanted to make myself a cup of coffee. I do this, you know, every time I have a day off. I come back here and I make myself a cup of coffee, just sit down, enjoy the outdoors when I can't go camping, which is not as much as I like these days. Uh, I wanted to talk to you guys about bushcraft knife from Condor. That's the Condor Woodlaw, and that's right here. Uh, this is a great knife at a reasonable price. There's a few issues with this knife though. Um, First, let's talk about the sheath here. Now, everybody knows Condor. Whoever orders a knife from Condor gets these sheets, and these sheets are some of the best sheets you can get. I mean, in the price range of these knives. No other company gives you a sheet in this like this. Condor knows how to make a sheet. One of the best things about their knives is their sheets, I guess. It's too bad you can't buy them separately, and I've looked, I can't find them separate. If you can, please let me know. I try to make one and it doesn't come out good, so if you know where they sell these separate, please let me know. Anyway, back to the knife. So this is the Woodlaw. It's got 1075 steel, carbon steel. Micarta handles. First, it's a full tang knife. These micarta handles, they're great in the hand, and that's the reason I bought this knife. Is just these handles. They just looked really good to me, and I love micarta. Micarta is one of my favorite, materials for handles because the wetter it gets with sweat or water or whatever, you don't lose grip with this. It's a great little knife. Now, there's no safety feature with this knife, so a lot of people stay away from these kind of knives because there is no stop here for your finger. So some things you do, you could slip over the blade and cut yourself. But if you've used knives for a while, I think that's not a great threat. I mean, that's not a reason to not buy the knife. Now, when I first bought this knife, it came with a Scandi grind. Most of these knives, bushcraft knives, come with Scandis. I've now put a convex on the blade, and it's extremely sharp. And I strop it. That's basically all I do now. Now, to the one problem I've had with this knife is, and that was, my fault. I took the knife out of the sheath. I put it down on a table, and it was right on the edge, and something must have hit it, and it dropped, and it just landed on a piece of rock right at the tip. Now, I don't know if the camera's picking this up, but there is a little bit of a bent right at the front of the tip. Now, I've tried to fix it. When originally it was a lot worse. It's a lot better. I've tried to fix it, and I'm fine with the way it is now. So the steel, it's 1075, is not as good as 1095. Condor knows how to make a good 1075, don't get me wrong, but the edge doesn't last as long as 1095, and it's not as hard. So not that it's not as hard, it's not as tough. So that's the reason I put the convex on it. The Scandis seem to be a bit too thin. So I put the convex, and I haven't had an issue since then. I used to get a bit of rolling on the edge when I, try to baton little pieces for my stove here. But since I put the convex, I haven't had an issue. And this thing it takes a great edge. And this is just a little bit of fat wood. It cuts great. It feels great in the hand. but the steel could have been a bit better. That's my only problem with this knife, is the steel. I wish it was 1095. Now, if you're happy with 1075, and with 1075, you have to take care of it. It will rust. This has a treatment on it, but you still have to oil it, make sure it's dry, and take care of it. It's thick enough where you can baton little pieces of wood for your fire, and it does shavings pretty good. Now, Condor has started coming out with 1095 blades, and unfortunately I don't have any of their 1095s, steels. The only ones I have are the 1075s. Now, I have the Bushlaw, and with the Bushlaw I haven't had these problems. For some reason, the heat treatment on the Bushlaw seemed to be a bit better than this. Now, I don't know the reason for that. It could be just the batch this was made in. But like I said, once you take care of the edge and put a convex, you won't have any problems with the rolling and stuff like that. And this was my mistake, so I'm not gonna ding the knife for that. Besides that, this can be a dependable knife. It's small enough where you can do a lot of tasks. It's not too big. You know, a lot of people like big knives. I do too, but I like my knives, the kind of knives I do this kind of work with, I like them to be small. You know, so this is the Woodlaw. Let me know if you guys have this knife, if you have had this problem with this knife. Now, if it's going to be your first knife, I suggest to stay away from this. Get the Bushlaw. That one's a better knife. It feels better in the hand than this does. Mind you, and this is one of my favorite knives, and I'm bashing it, but it is one of my favorite knives from Condor. And I have a few from Condor, and this is one of my favorites. So, but as for if you're gonna get this because you like the way it looks, that's up to you. But if it's going to be your first working knife, stay away from this. Get the Bushlaw. You'll be more happy with that knife. I think that knife has a lot more to offer than this does. Now, it does have a 90 on the spine, and you can get pretty good shavings with it. It is full tang, and it runs all the way through with brass here. I've put a lanyard on it. It's easier to get it out of the sheet, especially when it's new, with the lanyard in the back. Now, this is a good knife to have, but for a first knife or a beginning knife, a beginner's knife, I would stay away from this. Get something else, guys. I think you'll be more happy, or a lot more happy, with something that's got better steel than this does. And like I said, I've had 1075 from Condor, and I've been totally happy with it. So this one, not so much. As you can see, I'm gonna start my fire here with a steel rod. There's sparks, so you can use it that way. So let me know what you think, guys. If this helps you out, give me a thumbs up. And like I said, I will be making new videos every week, 1 to 2 a week. So if you're interested in seeing more knives and my opinion on them, and I'm not a professional bushcrafter by any means, but I've had these knives for a long time, and I've used them all. So maybe I can help you in your buying decision. So please, if this helps you, give me a thumbs up, and subscribe. There will be new videos coming up. Thanks, guys. Enjoy your day.